despite the bans against them.
And it is, of course, on the other side, Misfortune, no slouch in lane. Should theoretically be able to bully out the Kai'Sa with the...
And, yeah, the fan culture around the world. That's a fun thing to talk about eventually, because, you know, and there's a bit of a fight down here. I'll be getting wall stunned.
Not to that much avail, of course. Feather's coming on over now as well. Everyone's coming on over.
Oh!
From Feather, going to be immune by a wonderful call of the back, and those base run out to dry, surely. Does so. First blood goes the way of Tarzan. However, 1xN gets another. Feather now in danger. Not back, though. Ensures it being a 2-for-2 as it stands. Hope trying to run at 1xN. Does have the barrier. Pops it. They're going to try and get one into Shanks. Flash away. Still gets the auto. Ends up being a 3-for-3 as Setup needs to run away. We'll surely have the seismic shove available on a good flash out. That is a very aggressive early start, but TT do
against top esports while he was on JDG in an AD carry-centric meta, beating out Jaculov in the battle of Zeri versus Sivir, 10,000 damage. Team fights Hoya losing out in XP, and he's going to get all in by Flandre. Tarzan's coming down.
Backstep required. Does have the flash. Maybe has to pop it. Does just hook shot away, but the Dark and Dagger is well read, and it's a nice pickup from the side of Tarzan. Just burned the TP.
Big problem. And Hoya on the Camille. This is more what I knew from him from last year and before, and his, I guess, history before the last split. His Camille, yes, against BLG, something that we remember very fondly for, you know, solo killing Bin in Game 5, blah, blah, blah. He would sometimes make these individual, avoidable mistakes which throw him out of the game. He's losing a triple stacked wave here. Setup has to come down to protect him. He's gonna die because Hoya is being separated from his wave.
Good shove back. Will probably give him just enough speed to get out with the phase rush. Over's come Feather as well. Still to play this. Hoya backs away, but that's just leaving Feather out to dry. And now Hoya gets to the wave. Sure, we'll clear that up. But I think there's still threat of being dived here.
He is. The Romel's going to come in. He has to head under the turret now. The minion's going to come through and tank up the tower. Hoya has 6. Maybe that'll save him.
Yeah, they will turn away from that. They get the Herald down. There's that ward in the middle of the lane there, spawning the reset from Setup.
Yeah, on the restream over there, or on our own channels here on over on my channel on Memo as well, means an awful lot to us. So you to stop in and see a little bit of LPL history. Shanks does have flash, should be safe. Oh, maybe he's not.
He's not going to burn the ult quite yet. It's getting a big chunk down. Forces the flash down, but he means he's not flushed under the turret, and he's got nowhere to go. He's dead. What was that flash?
He had to flash out of the Skarner ultimate, but he couldn't go under turret. Great positioning of the ult by Beitron. I don't think Shanks respected the Skarner damage with just 2 giant spells.
Fall off, but over we go. Second set of grubs is up. Hook lands. 1xN going to get depth charge. Tarzan now looking for a potential angle on him here. 1xN walks on forwards. Needs to be a bit aware as the dogs come flying on forwards. Does a decent job of staying alive. Now Tarzan's very deep. Beitron gets a big chunk of Kyle, and now Setup's roamed on down. Tarzan has to flash as Hoya goes looking on in. Lands a tactical sweep into the backline. As Shanks, remember, with no flash in danger. They do still turn it around as Kyle flashing away into the backline goes. Hope he's got no mana. Can he get enough damage done with the passive? Does so. And anyone's legend get all the value in the world. Hope goes too deep, cannot find... Sorry, not Hope. Hoya goes too deep, trying to get an angle, can't do so. It's finally a decent unraveled earth to stop Tarzan, but oh dear. TT look for the fight and fumble it.
Flandre is tanky enough to get under turret. Setup will also be added to the kill count of the disaster. Disastrous dive from TT. The start of the play was fine, but jumping forward with the... So good today. Only seen 2 games of him. First game, he was 100% kill participation and got an MVP for that one. This time, 5-0-1. Flandre, laying low on turret, could be dead. Doesn't have flash and ult, though.
Be relatively strong. The CC chain is good. He flashes, but then he gets interrupted before he can get a Q off. So we'll just die here, I think. Does so. I'll try and make sure this zombie can't clear the whole wave super freely. A setup. Wait. Oh my days, that got close.
So I got baited a little bit by the cooldown. Top has 2 plays. First turret will be going over to Annual's Legend in either mid or bot lane, pushing in 2 lanes while TT can only push in the 1. AL get the kill, they get some more plates, but AL, with more damage on more turrets, I think win out on the wave to balance out the map if he wants to. 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4 if he needs to.
Hope eating a bit of an ugly chunk there. Again, despite getting the kills, is still 100 gold behind this Misfortune. Setup's been jumped on, doesn't have the flash, and just dies. Great Realm Warp gang from Shanks.
And that is the strongest player on TT.
TP's now towards the bot side. Flandre, no flash, no ult, no teleport. Might well suffer here. We're going to try and dive him again. He's worthy of taking down here. Can they just blow him up and then take the turret? I think they can. They've got enough damage. Nicely done from TT. But again, Flandre will clear out the wave in short order because zombie is zombies do. And it's going to be mid lane in danger. Setup in danger as the depth charge comes on through. Hope ults on forwards with the killer instinct. Setup gets a Seraph shield, but just can't run away.
Once again, Flandre is happy to die. It is a bounce. It is a good death. He takes 4 people down. 4 people to kill him. Yes, he does die, but he clears out the wave. Takes a long time for Hoya to return towards that turret. And while that's happening, AL are pushing elsewhere on the map. TT are playing on one lane at a time. Anyone's Legend are playing across all of them. Wave clearing with the Scion, pushing with the other 2 lanes. TT do not have good answers into it. Harold's going to go bot side. That'll be another push in from AL.
Second dive just complete for Tarzan as well. This Neferi is very, very scary. And now the TT want to think about coming to fight this. Beijwan and Feather going on forward onto Kylo. He gets bounced around before he gets an aftershock off. So I think that's just a dead Nautilus. Nice combo. Into the backline goes Flandre onto 1xN, who Barry is. But now Flandre's pretty deep here. He needs to be a bit wary, but the Swifties...
He is Scion.
Yeah. They're going to headbutt Pulv, get some damage back. Now in they go into the backside, and goodbye Feather. Can just go back over the wall. Good start to the wall though from to Flandre. Beijwan gets onto the backside. They go forward to the Hound's pursuit. Flandre dies. Big pull into the bullet time. Tarzan just about alive. Gets the jump over the wall. Beijwan trying to get the kills. Hoya now coming on over as well. The Eclipse shields! Unreal! And the call of the pack keeps him healed up.
So, TT do get a kill onto the Scion, but it takes so goddamn long again. And anyone's Legend making sure that TT can't use their 6 grubs they gain, making sure that they can't really get anything on the map. AL are pushing in towards like almost their base gates. At this timestamp in the game, very funny that he's midway through the wall there, but like, that's just very funny. I am Scion and I am in your walls.
Yeah, Tarzan just about surviving the back end. He's on 10% HP and base one on 2/3 and still dies. That's a very dead-looking Hoya who does not have anything to say about that. The Hound's Pursuit comes on through, and this poor Camille suffered from the really difficult stuff. Still no second items completed for the majority of the team.
I have a mini game I want to play, Sam. We should play this at some point. We should do Scion says instead of Simon says.
Cowards! That's what he tends to say.
Simon says, cowards, let's fight!
Feather in danger, throws down the Unbreakable Will, but the teleports come flying on through, and Feather is a dead man. Tarzan goes rolling over the wall with the Eviscerate. Now they're going to try and run away, but it's interrupting setup. Oh dear. Hoya's TP'd in. Why? Why are you here? Setup will die as the Decimating Smash comes on through. 1xN hangs over the wall, trying to find a decent bullet time angle should there be a hook or a impale from Beijwan, and instead Hoya now sort of has to run away and maybe head
like with no contest available from TT after losing that fight previously. That will give them all that petal meta. This one clearly hasn't worked for them.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm not even sure how much of it is about the draft and how much of it is about things like, well, shit, those double lane swaps really screwed us over. Hope's actually now potentially endangered. So many shields. Oh, that's a great combo. That's exactly what they need. Bot lane is down. Massive damage onto 1xN, though, as Shanks tries to run away. They did get what they needed to there. 35 seconds on the Hex Tech. As in comes Flandre, ulting on in. And they're going to try and interrupt him on the Decimating Smash, and does so. Tarzan needs to be a bit wary, pretty low here. Gets driven into a wall. We asked for the bullet time of the gods. That'll do it.
And the Skarner, really the key part of that. Tarzan trying to get some damage back, but the bot lane of Anyone's Legend caught out, and AL are caught napping. That should never happen to them in that situation from that gold lead. TT strike back, and it could not have happened at a better moment. They will do that to stop the Hex Tech. I thought it was just going to be a blowout game. TT, big fight, deny themselves, deny that objection, get 2 objective bounties on top of the shutdowns.
And suddenly this Misfortune right back in. It's 1,600 gold, 7-2-2. It's a big lead suddenly. What can you convert that into? Get steel caps and a pickaxe. Okay. Setup still in danger here as the turnaround could potentially come on through. Teleporting out just about in time.
Yeah, Kyle hooks the wall down. They would have reached there in time anyways.
2, 3 more times without the response coming on through. That was without Tarzan, without Flandre.
Tarzan on the flank, jumping in. Might get CC'd. Dodges out on the Q.
Throw the dogs on forwards, hook now onto Feather. Flandre on the other side, gets on the backside, sets up, flashes out the Decimated Smash, but that does leave Feather out to try the bullet time. Not really fantastic. Zones out Anyone's Legend for a second or two, but it's not going to get any kills. And now Tarzan can look to get onto the back of setup. They do actually get a pretty good combo there, but wait! Just about survive for a second or two more with the call of the pack, but they won't get anything more. 2 kills back are solid, but Hope flashing away, still going to get pulled out by the turret shots. Golden goes setup, sorry, Shanks. Setup trying to clear out the wave, and they do so.
3 for 3.
And everything else coming on in was pretty valuable, and once those kills came on down, it suddenly switched to being really significant. Beitron's going to get knocked up. Setup is going to be turned around. 1xN in a 1v1 with Flandre. Not enjoying, but the turnaround comes on through as Hoya is there. They get the kill. Interesting on the Kyle. Beitron does die, though. Now the resets come on through as the Locket is too late. And split away from Hoya is the rest of the team. Nice call of the pack, and they will end up getting a 2-for-1 pickoff, including the jungle. That should be Baron.
There was, again, not really the best bullet time. Got to call it out from 1xN. This happened in Split 1 playoffs too. They are single-person bullet times onto tanky frontliners of anyone's legend. It's not really doing the damage that TC need to clear through the fight. Now, you don't have a smite. You don't really have a way to contest this. You might have to, though. Don't really think you can give over a Baron and live.
Throw down the make it, Rain briefly. Shanks gets a bit of a speed up. They go on in, headbutt down. They're going to try and play this regardless. Damage comes back on down to 1xN with the Rune Press going on through. Flash for the Abyss, Rip of the Night. Unraveled Earth does not save the life of Misfortune, as Shanks gets to overload and spell flux through the whole of the team.
See that Anyone's Legend very, very happy now to walk in. Beitron has flown into the jungle and might be feeling a bit bad about that one. Right through the wall. Luckily safe on that, but Anyone's Legend trying to take down as many turrets as possible.
24 seconds on the spawn of 1xN. Bat Dragon spawns just after that, but I think the game might be over before all of that to boot. They're going to have an inhibitor come on down. They're going to keep on playing for 13 seconds. Get a hook now onto Beitron, who flashes away, but the Hound's Pursuit is just ridiculous at this point, isn't it? So much damage. Tarzan just about surviving. Hoya does too. Now actually doesn't get headbutted into the turret. Can try and trade this one out. Call pack. Keep Tarzan alive. Turn it around. Death charge onto 1xN. Flashes back onto the fountain. Does not stay alive. Hoya gets onto Hope though. Flandre's just autoing the Nexus though. Shanks dies. Flandre doesn't care. He's just going to work. They need to stop Flandre from killing the Nexus because he's still got a zombie to work with.
Go, Sion, go! Go, Sion!
He's going to keep going. Flandre! They're trying to knock him away. The CC's there. They're walling him away. They're walling him away. That is ridiculous. He's still got a zombie. The Nexus just about
can't die.
He can't die. Where's his healing coming from? Unending Despair is a silly item.
He has not to show. He's going further!
No.
Hitting the Nexus, so many headbutts!
Stop it! No! No! He needs to die! What? He's still got a zombie! He can end the game! Keep him away from the Nexus, time to talk gaming. You've got to not let this zombie do his work. He finally falls.
Flandre can't end the game! Not much time on the Nexus that they can't defend this, so it will be a death by 1,000 cuts. Anyone's Legend,
Key break point here. I want to know how much damage Flandre tanked up this game. He's 100 CS up on a Camille. He's Flame Horizon Camille.
Here he goes, here's the ult.
Here he goes! Roll up! 1xN in danger gets knocked up by the depth towards Dredge line. Taken out. Game is over as the ults fly through. Anyone's Legend end it.